How will Jules get away from Darros? How will Lucy find out where Jules is? And what other twists are in store for us? Welcome back. This is Sean's Take on Things. I am Sean Redmond. Today, my take is on Orphan Black Echoes, Season 1, Episode 7. Episode's title is The Dog's Honest Truth. This is your spoiler warning. I'll assume that you've seen the episode or don't mind if I spoil it. Also, I'll use clips from the episode as is allowed under the fair use provision of the copyright laws of 1976. All right, let's dig in. So after the surprising exit of Josh at the end of the previous episode, Kira returns home having lifted his laptop, and she cleans the blood off her face. I think that's a pretty big moment for her. I don't know if it's going to have a lasting effect, but it seemed to have pretty good effect at that moment. We do see Xander apologizing to Darros for his inability to do what Darros wanted regarding Jules. He does promise to fix it, and he takes her through the facility and shows her where they were printed. And he lays down in the printer, which she at first thinks is weird, but then joins him, which is kind of odd. And now we did see that she still has the nose spray of the drug, which she whacks him with. And I still don't know what Darros's plan is for Jules and Xander. You know, does he think that they should hook up? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do we know how old Jules is supposed to be? Is she like 13? Or is she older than that? I'm not sure. So Jules does get to take the key from that Xander had said that he stole from Darros, and she goes back to Darros's office and steals the iWatch that has the spinning icons on it. So that's going to be important, but I don't know to what. Apparently we didn't need it for the machine because she hit the button on the machine and it closed on Xander, which I thought was going to end terribly, but it just closed the top. He was able to get out. So Lucy goes to see Neva, Jules' adopted mother, and finds out that Pam, the psychiatrist, counselor, whatever, was there when Jules was taken. So Lucy goes to see her. And I thought the moment, we see this therapist sit down at her desk, start to sort her mail, and then realize Lucy's sitting there with a gun. I thought that was a great moment. Well played. So the therapist does explain to Lucy that Jules has a higher purpose. We don't know what that higher purpose is. And since Darros is protecting her, she's untouchable. Lucy ends up having enough and pistol whips her into unconsciousness. Okay. And she goes back to Kira, who is a little frantic as she has been dosing Eleanor to stave off the beginning of Alzheimer's. Lucy assures her that she will find Eleanor after their fight, that she needs Kira to get her head in the game. This is all her because of her, and she needs to handle it. So Lucy goes to find Eleanor, asks where she thought Eleanor might go. Kira does go to the original Eleanor's grave and says goodbye. And that was a pretty nice period to put on their relationship, is her admitting that she has to let go and say goodbye. And we see her walk away from Eleanor, which was good. Printout Eleanor, for lack of a better term, goes to see Lucas, tells him about her Alzheimer's and illness, and he struggles to believe it. She doesn't tell him the truth about the printout part until Lucy shows up, and then she does. She tells him the whole truth, and apparently this is why we had Lucas somewhat associated with Quakers and what it amounts to a cult called Quakers. He, in this respect, is rigid in his thinking that she can't be real. She's not allowed to exist because she was not created correctly. Being raised by those two women, he should be a little more open-minded than that, but he's not, and he's kind of a dick. Lucy helps Eleanor walk away. So Eleanor and Lucy sit on a bench and discuss a few things. Eleanor, that, the memories that she has aren't her memories. And Lucy says, well, if the memories make you happy, it doesn't matter whose they are. which is a surprisingly healthy way to look at something. And then they do get to the Lucy bringing up the fact that she and Jules share a memory vision of the bloody bathroom. And Eleanor remembers and explains that that's the day that original Eleanor's father committed suicide in that bathroom by slitting his wrists in a bathtub. So Jules uses the key and the thing to get through the fence. She actually makes it, and I forgot to mention this in order, but we do see her running, and she runs past the sonic fence right in time. She gets past it, and it turns green again. So she almost didn't make it, but she did make it. And she makes it to what I guess is a truck stop, gas station. Before she gets there, she runs across a dog that's trapped sort of in a pile of brush, and she frees him. I know these scenes are harder to film, but just a word to the wise, that's a fairly big dog. If you find that size of a dog trapped in the woods, the first thing you should not do is dive directly at his head. Luckily for Jules, all she did was release the dog and they became buddies. But she's obviously not spent a lot of time around dogs. So Jules and the dog end up at this truck stop. The woman working the truck stop says the dog's not allowed, and Jules says, he's not with me. He's just here. And he steals a bag of chips or something and leaves, and the woman chases him. Jules agrees to help her in exchange for a favor. And the favor was we saw Jules on what looks like a public phone of the future. She finds the clinic where Craig works, and she was going to call it, but she didn't have any money. So she helps the lady get the chips back from the dog, gets the money to make the call, calls Craig. Craig comes to get her. And for some reason, she got to keep the chips. So she throws the chips to Craig, gets in his truck, and then calls the dog. Now, we did see the moment that Jules saw that the dog has a tracker. So she knows somebody knows where that dog is, and she invites the dog along. So she has an idea. So Darros sort of shuts the door on Xander. He's very mean in the things that he says and how incapable Xander is. And we see Xander process that on how cruel he was. And Xander did have the vision when he was drugged and in the tank, their sister. And we piece together through the conversation between young Darros and the sister in the vision that their father beat them, and that Darros would take extra beatings to keep dad off of the what appears to be sickly sister. So now when Xander packs his things to go, we're not sure if he's going to find Jules or if he's going to go try to find the sister. But he's going. He left, or is leaving. Tom does, in fact, track the dog because he's not bad at his job. We do see Jules use Craig's phone in his car to call Lucy. Says she's fine, she's with Craig, but she has an idea, and to meet at the dockyards, I think she said. The docks, whatever. Lucy updates Kira. Kira goes through Josh's laptop and sees that Darros had printed out Xander, in Josh's video log. Kira reaches out to Emily, who has helped her along the way. And Emily agrees to meet Kira. At the docks, we see Tom pull in and see the dog with Lucy and Craig, and he rolls to a stop, and he's going to get out of the car to go get Jules when Lucy and Eleanor crash into him in the pickup truck that they're in, and then they all leave in two cars. The dog takes Tom's ear and runs away, so he's no longer with them. Tom's not dead, but he did lose an ear. And we do see Kira meeting with Emily, who is armed. So it appears, and this is what I think, it appears that Emily's helping of Kira was all part of her big game to find Lucy. She's not anti-Darros in any way. She's just using the tools at her disposal to get her job done. So a couple of pretty good plot twists with Josh's killing himself and Emily actually not being a traitor, I think. And now that we have, there was that great moment where Jules got into the pickup truck with Lucy and Eleanor, and Lucy introduced them. said, that's Jules, that's Eleanor, me, 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 me. And then Jules looks at Eleanor and says, well, at least we age gracefully, which is a very nice compliment. So now we have all of the printouts teamed up. And we're going to, make the run to the end of this series. I think the writing has actually become a little stronger, or maybe I've just learned the characters better. But it feels like the writing's become stronger as we've gotten towards this demonta of the series. And, I can't wait to see where we go from here. I don't know what Emily's going to do to Kira or when we're all going to meet back up again. But I am enjoying the show. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying this show. Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying my show, this show, Sean's Take. Let me know whatever you want. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what else you're watching. Anything. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel boost its recognition so that other people can also watch. I appreciate it. That's it for this week. I'll see you next week. This is Sean's Take. I'm Sean. See you next time.